Hey y'all, welcome to NFG Garage. What's up, everybody? Um, been playing this game a little bit with, I guess, kind of lack of funds, and with this year, well, I guess Happy New Year. With this previous year being the way it was, there wasn't a lot going on, and it's winter now, so a lot of my projects that you may have seen have been kind of sidelined, sitting around. So I've been passing the time, probably like a lot of us, at home, just finding ways to get by, and I decided to pick up this game, which is, I think it was released in 2017, which would make sense. It's Car Mechanic Simulator 2018, and I'm a little late to the party, but been uh, been messing around with it. Obviously, I'm level 42 up there in the top right, so I've spent some time on it, but um, I suppose if you can't work on cars in real life, then you can work on cars in the gaming life. So I don't know. I might do a few videos on this, just kind of mess around, just have a little fun, and see if anybody likes them too. Go from there. But anyway, so I got a customer in right now with a green Hellcat. It's kind of a little rough. A whole 31,410 kilometers, which in miles is something. Anyway, if you don't know the premise of this game, basically, like, you start off in a shop and you kind of grow from there. It's like if anybody ever played like Tycoon games back in the day, it's, you start from a small shop and you earn money and you do jobs and you upgrade, and then you can go places. You can buy cars, you can flip cars, totally restore cars, whatever you want to do. Uh, I've bought a ton lately, so I'm kind of hurting for money. Although I have 151,000, but in this game, that's kind of hurting for money. At least I feel like, anyway. But so anyway, this customer here has brought the car in because it needs new filters. Engine's working, but it's choppy. Brake system needs fixing, and the transmission is noisy. And I've kind of messed around with this already before I started recording, but you can get in here and try and start it. And yeah, it's not doing nothing. So, first of all, what I decided to do, and this engine is disgusting. So go in here with my tools. There's kind of a learning curve to this game. Well, I don't know if I'd say that, but basically you progress along and you get tools. At first you have nothing, but with my level, I have basically every tool I need to kind of examine it. So I'll start off. Usually if a car comes in like this, just do the old OBD, see if there's any faults or codes or anything that pops up. And so basically we're looking at ignition coils, which would be like coil on plugs, and then an ABS module. Everything else looks good. And then I'll do a compression test too, since we can't start it. I hope that's not as loud for you guys as it was in my headphones. Everything's good there. So yeah, that's basically how I start. If I can't start a car or whatever, I'll just go ahead and run tests and stuff like that and just see. Everything's good on the electrical side. And then just for fun, because I'm a full service garage, check the tread depth on your tires. If I need to upsell tires or something like that, you know, it's always very important. Oh, they're good. Never mind. Okay. And then fuel pressure. Alright, so we got some culprits here. Both fuel rails are trash, and then the fuel filter's garbage. So the whole end game here, since we kind of have an idea now of how to get it started, I'm just going to move it over to the lift and walk into the pillar. And I guarantee, if you can go over here if you right click, you can go over here and look at the car status too, and give you an idea of the things you've found. So those are the filters, obviously. Engine's choppy, and now that we've done the checks on them, the tests, it gives you kind of a rundown of stuff that needs fixed. And based on how the supercharger looks, I'm guessing it's probably bad too, but we'll just go from there and see. And then brakes, obviously, I'll get to that later. And then transmission's noisy. So I'm going to go ahead and start by taking off this throttle. So I'm trying to do... Oh god, I can't do... Ugh. Yeah, I can't take anything off until... Alright, well, I guess the belt's coming off. Yep. Yep. Tensioner off. What am I missing here? Okay. If you mouse over something too, it'll kind of show you, like, if it's yellow right there, there'll be red parts that need to come off first before you can get those off. Yeah. Okay. So belts are off, pulleys are off. I can get to this idler pulley. I'm just gonna take these fuel covers off. Since I know these need to go, I'm taking those off too. And now we can take the supercharger off. Perfect. And that was it. If you look up here at the left, it was 29%, so I'm guessing that's probably toast too. Fuel filter needs to go. And then the brake system, you can kind of get an idea too on this game where if something's this rusty and corroded, it probably needs replaced. So while I'm in here, take out this module. And the ABS pump's gonna go. And then obviously we have to replace some coils. And that one looks a lot better than the rest of them, so I'm assuming those are the bad ones. I think it said spark plug too, so we'll have to kind of address that one later. Oop. Perfect. Then if you right click, you can kind of go to, you can kind of, not kind of, you can go to examine mode. I thought it said spark plugs. It must be under one of those coils. No, I'm just being stupid. Never mind. Okay. So we've got most of that. I think. We'll just replace these and then I can start it and I can actually drive it and figure out what's going on with the brakes. And then the transmission. And at this point too, probably do the filters while I'm in here. And this game's really great because if you want to take off, it misses so many things. Like there's no there's no rod bearings or anything like that, but you do have clips on your air filter, and you got to make sure you take them off, and you got to make sure you put them back on. Otherwise, you can't ship the car. There's an air filter, which is trash. Oil filter. Let's go ahead and do that while we're here. Drain away. Okay. And obviously you want to drain the oil before you start messing around with the fuel filter, or the oil filter and the oil pan and stuff like that. Otherwise you make a big old mess. Alright. So, let's see. I have a thing where I have a tablet too. I just push T and it gets there. Otherwise you have a computer you can go to and order parts. But what we need is the oil filter. Then we need fuel filter. And I gotta look at what air filter I need. Okay. Let's see. Right there. Right now I'm basically just trying to get the car started so I can drive it, figure out what's going on with the brakes and stuff like that. Although I could probably tear it apart and figure it out, but rather do it official, and I have all sorts of tests I can go do, so I might as well do them. Alright. Put the air filter back in. And then, like I said, here's the tedious part. So, clip A. Clip A. 2 more. Okay. And if you right click on the car, you can go back to car status and you can see that everything's good except for the fuel filter. Kind of keep a tab, sorry, of what you're doing. Put that on. And we're good for those 3. And let's see, we need 2, 3, 4, 6 coils, 2 rails, and a blower. So get 2 of those. And one of these, $1,500. And then, let's see, coils. Actually, I want to say it's these. So 6 of those. Let me put this motor back together. least I bought the right ones. And obviously off to the right, like I didn't, with the ABS pump and the sensor and stuff like that. At least the sensor, I guess, showed up, but pump didn't, but it was so rusty and so nasty that I'm assuming that was wrong, so I'm going to replace that anyway. And put the blower back on. I didn't mean to do that. I try my best to keep it realistic and actually like do a certain like decent tightening of bolts, but whatever. It's a game. Okay, fuel rails are back on. Put the covers back on. Okay. And then we'll just do a pump. Pump and a sensor. And you can check and see too, like if you actually need to replace them, but module and pump. So I'm just going to go ahead and do it while I'm here. Perfect. And then don't forget to put all the accessories and stuff back. Let's see. Idler pulleys, belts. I probably should have done a car that I've done before. I do a lot of work on like, they have like old like, you know, small block Fords and stuff in this game, which loosely small block Fords, but that's usually what I do. So I'm kind of used to those. I don't do a lot of Dodges or Chevys. Okay, tensioners back on. That ought to be all back together. So we check again. Engine's working, but it's choppy. That's all good. So now brakes and transmission. Filters are all good. So what I'm gonna do now is move this back here to the entrance. Just for fun, let's see if I can start it. Perfect. Purring like a kitten. So then I'm going to move it to our test path. Oh. I feel like I said something about that. Anyway. Oil. Don't forget the oil. Perfect. I usually count to, after it tips down, I usually count to 8, and that's usually okay, but I'll go ahead and check it anyway just to make sure. Yeah, we're good. Okay. So with that being said, let's actually move it here to the test path. Basically just check brakes, check suspension. Ooh, God. Front driver brakes are toast. Rear brakes, let's see what they say. Both not good. I would guess suspension's probably fine. Yep. And rears. you go. Caliper, brake disc. That one's going to be on the back. For whatever reason, this game has the ventilated ones are always on the front. The discs are always on the back unless they have drums. So you know that's a back. Ventilated ones are always the front. But yeah, we're looking at 4 calipers, two rear discs, 1 front, pads. And this is probably the most fun part. Move back to the garage entrance. Now that it works, I get to go drive it. Take it to test track. I hope all my audio and everything's good. I tested this a little bit, but we'll see what happens. And if you're in this game and you want to change views, just press C. It's kind of annoying to drive it from inside. Oh, that sounds amazing. Oh, grass. Trying to steer this thing with keyboard is not good. Perfect. Well, not perfect, but good enough. Okay, back to shop. Looks like clutch plate, release bearing, and pressure plate are junk. So we're going to have to pull the transmission off and get to those. And I'll probably actually do that right now. Just get that out of the way. Alright, well, first order of business. I mean, I suppose in a real life situation you'd probably take this exhaust off, but I'm not going to. It'd probably make it easier to work on it, but anyway. Okay, so drive shaft comes off, and obviously your starter. And clearly, like, you can see just by the condition of it, you know, transmission's fine. And that's disgusting. Bearings off. And also, I didn't know if I mentioned or not, you can go into, if it doesn't reveal it in a test, if you're doing something like that, you can go into examine mode, like for instance right here with the flywheel. Click on it, yeah, it's bad. So you can also do that if you want to, or you can just take it off and it'll tell you what the condition is, but okay. Just gonna go into my tablet here. And I forgot to check. Yeah, everything's toast. I have a terrible short-term memory, so I always have to go back and check here. But yeah, everything except the gearbox getting fixed. So clutch plate, pressure plate, release bearing, flywheel, it's all getting done. Let's put it back together. So that'll solve a lot of our problems. And how many miles does this car have on it? 30, man. Somebody's been rodding this thing. I suppose. It's Hellcat. Okay, that'll take care of filters. Engine's good now. Transmission, everything's fine. So now it's brakes. And we basically have, with all the tests and stuff now, basically we have everything that we need to know about it and what we need to fix. Yeah, clearly disgusting. Interestingly enough, though, these pads are brand new. Okay, so those are gone. And also these pads are like brand new. So let's go ahead and handle the back. 2 brake discs. And then we need, what, 2 calipers. And you can replace the caliper cylinders too, but I've found like a lot of times when you're doing like customer vehicles or whatever, these are always fine. Or at least good enough. So I usually don't have to replace them. And you can tell if you go back into your car status, there's a repair with minimal parts condition. If anything's at 85% or above, you don't have to replace it. So, you know, if you're going through and just tearing stuff apart, and then you look at your inventory and there's stuff that's 85 to whatever, you don't have to replace it. It shouldn't be on the repair order or whatever. So anyway, we'll go ahead and throw some new discs on here. Put these brand new pads back on. Yeah, like I said, those calipers are usually fine, or the cylinders are usually fine. Don't put the wheels on until you're done. No sense in taking them off again if you screw up. Pads, caliper, cylinder. Good to go. And then you can just check and see again. Yeah, calipers, discs are good. Whatever. So I'll go to the front. If I remember right, this one, yeah. Brand new disc. Bad caliper. Brake pads are fine. Somebody's doing their own DIY work and they're not very good at it. 1% caliper there. And those need pads. So let's see. I've already forgotten. Like I said, short-term memory is awful. Oh, just one of those. And if you right-click on these, you can actually add them to like a parts list or parts order, so you know exactly what you need to order. If it helps you out at all. And then you just click over here, your shopping list. So, those pads, 2 calipers. Can I get there? There we go. Oh, sorry. Let's check it out. Filters are all good. Oil, air, and fuel. Engine, got all that. Brakes are good. Everything's good. Let's put this tire on, or these tires on. Ship it. Sweet. I feel bad for this car. I'm assuming I'll see it again in another 31,000 kilometers for probably a lot more work. But once again, finish order. Just one more last check, make sure everything's good, and then spent $6,068 on fixing it. My bonus, my labor charge here, whatever. Job bonus, I don't know. Flag, whatever it is. But I don't know how they calculate it. But anyway, I'm going to make $13,630 on doing this job. Not bad at all. Send it down the road. Oh, except for the drive shaft. Don't forget that. I do that all the time. Or if anybody's ever played this, like, getting ready to send it, it's like, oh, clip B is missing. Like, what the hell is clip B? Okay, we'll remedy this problem. Perfect. At least the game tells you and you don't send it down and, well, not that you get angry phone calls, but you wouldn't be able to drive the car if you didn't have a drive shaft in it. Okay, ship it. Not bad, nice payout. And then if you got a higher level garage or whatever, you can go over here and repair stuff. Might as well, and then you can sell it, make some of your money back. That's 275 bucks. 750. 350. Yeah. And there you go. So not a bad haul for one car. I don't know. Keeps me busy during this whole fun year. I'll go over my my vehicles here in one of these episodes. But anyway, thank you for watching. And I'll probably do some more of these if people are interested. I'll do at least probably 2 more because I got stuff I want to do. But yeah, thanks a lot for watching and appreciate it. I'll see you next time.